Right, we are live, 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 guys. We are live. We are live for the Netherlands versus an arguably Japan again on the attack here. But yep, this is hopefully gonna be one of the clearance. Gakpo pocketed there. But yeah, this is I'm actually with Ivory Coast, Ecuador as well in this but this group. Adam McQuace is commentating on ITV, which is a good change. Or can Japan get a result? Gakpo. Try and be careful so it doesn't. Don't cover the sound. Van Dijk. Gakpo. Oh. Oh. Good save. Sign Suzuki. That's a good save. Comes in. Marlon touch. And it's a good save. That should be a goal. A bit of pressure on Japan now. Reinders. Has he been a flop at City? Probably. Hits it well, Marlon. Hits it very well. Oh. Ah. Yeah. Dutch are playing some nice stuff so far. Japan having a little bit tricky to get hold of the ball currently. Ronald Koeman. That's what having a good keeper is for. Just giving the ball back possession-wise there. Netherlands just a bit more physical than Japan right now. Okay. Okay. Ada Akamara foul by Van der Ven, who had disastrous season for Spurs. Van der Ven. Oh, big up SSB. Big up. Yeah, this is the game that one of the games I was looking forward to the most in terms of balance. Brazil, Morocco, and then this Japan, Netherlands was going to be. I'm going to be watching Ivory Coast, Ecuador as well. I want to see my boy Ahmad do something. But yeah, this interesting matchup because to me, Japan are a dark horse for the tournament. Ahmad Commander in. Oh, offside. Yeah, interesting matchup indeed. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Hopefully, you can't hear the audio from the game. Otherwise, I know YouTube will come for me. Well, not YouTube, FIFA will come for me. So, but yeah, I am looking for this. Definitely looking forward to this. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I'm not buffering too much. I'm in a different area, but oh, it's Van der Sar. I think that's Japanese tech foul. Netherlands is just missing. Yeah, exactly. Gakpo. Our Netherlands front three is when you consider they had likes of Robin and Van Persie. That Netherlands front three is not going to win a World Cup. I'm sorry. Maybe get to the quarters. Not even the quarters. I don't know. With that front three, I'm not sure. But let's see. Because obviously, from these two teams' point of view, they want to top the group. Maeda cross. Let's see if Van Dijk can recover some of his aura that he lost this season. Oh, Amada, not good. Thank goodness we have a commentator in the UK called Ali McCoy, who's actually one of the rare good England commentators who actually analyzes the game well. Partly because he's a coach, an ex-coach, and he was a player, but like I find that coaches tend to analyze them more. But 0-0 so far. If this team had the RVP Robin and the whole James Schroeder's defense, they probably win the tournament. Maybe not win, but certainly get to a final. I agree. I still don't think the midfield in this is. I mean, it's okay, but they're better midfields in this tournament. I think. I also Ronald Koeman as a manager as well. I'm a little bit like, but let's see what happens. So far, the Dutch have started well. The only clear chance so far was with Marlon. Probably should have scored it. But yeah, if Gakpo is the guy that you're relying on in 2020, when I say that, then maybe he does something. So we'll see. Maybe Gakpo does something. So let's see what happens. By the way, for those who are watching, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my second channel, Red Devil Studio X. Sorry, no, Red Devil Studio Extra. On the road to 100 subscribers there. Wow. and also on Twitch as well, on the road to 100 followers on Twitch as well. So please support your boy on those, because we're streaming to all three of them right now. Okay. Japan. Okay. The Suzuki guy, he's good. I remember when he was linked with Manchester United. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition, but. Oh, okay. So, 1 second. Yep. Yeah, so far so good. So, 1 second, everybody. Unlucky Curacao. When they got that goal, I was like, yes, that equalizer. I was literally like, Germany, what's going on? But Germany did a professional job. I think they decided, right, we can't do that. And there you go. Okay. Yeah. If I mean, this draft. I take him as a good number 2. Maybe we should still go. United should still go in for him. We're looking for a good number 2. I'd take this guy, this kid. I think he's still quite young, if I remember, but I could be wrong. Zion Suzuki. To be honest, they could have used him in the last World Cup. They would have saved penalty. Maeda, corner. Did you watch them? I did. I did. Uh, Even though I didn't stream them, I did watch. I sort of half watched Scotland versus Haiti. I watched Australia versus Turkey. Let's not talk about Turkey again, by the way. Overhyped people. I remember Chananoglu being like, "Oh, we're gonna dominate Australia." Bum. Turkey not doing anything in this tournament. Let's stop. Oh, of course. All I'll say for the Netherlands, sorry, for the USA is that don't let a guy who's called Iran dunk on you guys in the next game. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's go on goal. Yeah, they did. They did. Good goal from McGinn reflection, and there were a few refereeing things, but yeah. Haiti are good, and I think both teams. I still think Brazil and Morocco will beat both of them, but I think it won't be as easy as straightforward. They'll give them problems. I'm interested to see how Haiti will play against Brazil, especially if Brazil don't get their formation correct. Yeah, Turkey plays some of the dumbest. Yeah, I'm let's not talk about Turkey, man. Like the thing is, every single tournament, every single World Cup, people rate these guys. Like Australia have actually gotten further, if I recall. They actually got further in the last World Cup than Turkey. I don't think Turkey was even there. But every single time it comes, everyone's like, Turkey's gonna do something. Turkey's gonna do something. Turkey's gonna do something. And they don't do anything. I remember on the hangout, people were saying Turkey were gonna top this group that had America. It's gonna be Turkey, it was gonna be Turkey, USA, Paraguay, and Australia. Now, the way that Australia played, you can make an argument that Australia could top the group because Australia can beat Paraguay, get 6 points, and then you get face a USA team that might be getting a little bit too big for its britches. Turkey has talent but no brains. Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's on the manager. If they're not careful, they won't go through. Well, I think they'll beat. They'll probably beat Paraguay. You'd think. Turkey is shooting a 35 yards out every couple of minutes, dribbling into five Aussie players, and ones that make no sense. Exactly. Clearly, the Aussies were playing were playing a park the bus and counter strategy, which ultimately worked because they're young players that were fit and had the pace and were actually clinical, and that's all that matters. Australia had clinical players, Turkey did not. Mm. Yep, every other tournament Turkey gets. Yeah, let's just not talk about this Turkey bumps. Let's focus on Japan and the Netherlands. Dumfries carrying it. Dumfries, who's obviously gone to Real Madrid now. Okay, sees him. Oh, let the cross. Kubo. It's well done by Kubo to get out there. Japanese throwing. Somerville is an interesting player. Remontada 319. This Van de Ven guy. Yeah, Van de Ven is an interesting oh, unlucky. But we'll see. I suspect Dutch will score. They've just got from all clearance because just right now they've just got a bit more energy about them than Japan have. Japan, although technically are okay, they don't have the legs right now, from what I can see. Oh, I didn't know that. He used to run. Oh, he used to be a sprinter. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a sprinter. That explains it. Obviously, you need to do more than that in football, but it does help, especially in the modern game. Being a pace merchant is a valuable asset. It can cover a lot of um, deficiencies until at least you're 25, 26. Then when you're 25, 26, you actually need to be able to be a good footballer. Gakpo. Good one by Gakpo. Dutch throw. Hmm. Most sprinters I've seen who play football tend to be clumsy. Yeah, I think it's because you probably develop your technical ability as a footballer when you're really young. I don't know many, maybe it's happened, but I don't know many players that like learn technical. I mean, you can improve, you can sharpen over time, but I don't think that you can actually sort of learn how to be a technical player after a certain age. You either are or you aren't. And if you've been in doing being a sprinter all this time, then like, and you've not really learned the technical aspects of football, it's tricky. Mm, okay, okay. 21 minutes gone so far. Not much in the realm of attempts, to be honest. I mean, if we go, I think aside from that Marlin shot, I think is that probably the only shot on target. Yeah, one shot, one shot. Netherlands have 62% possession. Japan 38. I thought they'd get a bit more. I'll be honest, but I mean, you look at this group: Sweden and Tunisia. Um, we'll see what happens. Sweden got here on vibes, and Tunisia, I don't particularly rate, but we'll see. You'd think again, much like Brazil and Morocco, it will be these two teams that should get through. Wenger said by 12 to 14, most kids who go pro, they develop their exactly, exactly. Yeah, but by a certain age, after that, no way. And he means the base. Yeah, of course, like I said, you can improve, you can develop it, but if you don't have it, you're not going to learn it after a certain time period. So that's why, you got to start taking. Obviously, I think it also depends on what position you play. Our refreshment break that no one asked for goodness sake. It's been a cagey affair so far, but there we go. Um, but yeah, you can improve, but yeah, it takes some time. It definitely takes some time. Um, like basketball, boxing, MMA, and also you can develop it exactly. But even basketball, maybe with your hand-eye, But you're right. Oh, big up KT7s. What position did you play? What position did I play? This is why I need to start the Q&As back again. It's weird because I I didn't really, for various reasons I won't get into. I was not great at football when I was during school time at all. Like I was clumsy. I was all over the place. I wasn't good. And it's only when in my early 20s, I think, when I started to actually um, when I was when I started to perform better. So position wise for me, I always like to be depending on how if I was playing in a really attacking team, I would love to be like a centre back. If I was playing in a very, very defensive team, I would like to be like a pressing forward. I know that sounds like a cop out, but that's just how I played. I would adapt to the team that I was in effectively. So, but considering that so many people in England they like going on all out attack and not really passing stuff, I would often be a defender. Yeah, nothing beats to me a DM slash pushing up into midfield because nothing was more satisfying to me than like winning the ball, making a good tackle, and setting off like a counter attack. That was a good feeling. But if there were people were too defensive, which I played in some really defensive teams, like nah, I need to go up, I need to press, I need to press. It's weird in England's football, just wherever we are. There's so much more like mark your man, get your thing, get your thing. People don't. It's not pressing is not part of the England game at all. Right, water break over. Today, German fans complained about the water breaks. Though they're blasting Coden. I mean, it's stupid. For me, the water breaks. I mean, the things that I like about this, I like the fact that all the players come for the national anthems. I like um, the rules, some of the rule changes, the FIFA. But the biggest thing of this water break thing for the Americans to run ads, so it's 4 quarters so they can enjoy it more. Like it just, but it's an American World Cup and fair play to them for it. They need that time to do it. But geez, it's because it kills when like even in the game against Curacao before the water break, Curacao actually had momentum with them. Like they might have potentially scored a second goal, but the water break came, Germany reset, and then obviously they did it. Like it's a momentum swinger, and I think that suits the bigger teams. Morocco again yesterday, they were dominated Brazil. Water break comes, and then Brazil take a breath. They're like, right, okay, like it just. Oh well. Even this day, yeah, exactly. Listen, the water breaks are not for heat. The water breaks are for ads to be run and for people to buy stuff. It's purely money. Um, there's no way you're going to see it in the Premier League because there's no need for a water break. But I suspect at some point, especially if I think the way that football is, because obviously people want soccer and football to really succeed in the States, to get big, you know, to use this World Cup so that there's extra money. And I think that because most American games are for if the money is that good or good crossing and they want it, then football will probably have to adapt. And I wouldn't be surprised if you got that because oh, Maida, Nakamura, oh, back, but no, wasteful though. The mad press at low, yeah. I love pressing in football. I love that's another thing. Aside from um, winning the ball, pressing, just love it. You when you score the goal, when you just like no time to press, win it, score, brilliant feeling. I mentioned basketball because it's a sport where it's heavy genetic specific. If you're not a certain height, you have no chance to go pro. There's guys who pick up the game. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That is definitely true. Um, Very cagey game. This very very cagey. Probably the most cagey game of the tournament so far. I think. Gakpo trying to run in and do his thing. Um, Football is a very diverse game in that you can be small or big and want to exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's you oh, cleared cleared. You you got to learn the basic fundamentals at an early age. That's the difference. So football almost has a very 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 high bar of entry, and if you don't reach it, that's why I've always been against this whole pay to play system that exists in America and some other countries because, of course, they've some of the players have gone to broader to prove it, but domestically, you're never going to get a a a a good system if you restrict players to play based on their ability to pay, because players who are talented that will normally develop. You're not developing them. Dumfries missed. Today, the big headlines was that the NBA yesterday and today's big sporting event is UFC at the White House. Football got up uphill. But yeah, exactly. Today, the big headlines was that the NBA yesterday. Yeah, exactly. Today's big. I mean, to be fair, when the USA won the game, it did make some headlines from what I could see. So it will really much depend on how they proceed in this tournament because now the NBA is over. Um, you can't tell me that UFC is bigger than football in the US, man. Come on, surely not. But we'll see. I think if the USA continue to do well, the momentum will shift. P and Philip, Japan looking more scary with a striker like Uredu who scored 25 Gs in Holland. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I don't rate the Dutch league right now. I really don't. I don't rate the Dutch league now at all. Um, but they look okay. This has been quite a cagey affair, which maybe I should have expected as such. Um, it's just made it a little bit difficult to engage in the game. Is the only thing. Yes, get Wouton. Listen, I will not be surprised if in the second half, after about 70 minutes, it's still 0-0, that Koeman brings on Wout Weghorst, who is like almost 7 foot. They cross it in, they outjump the Japanese, they get a goal. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's what worked against Argentina, wasn't it? I still that to this day, I still understand how Wout Weghorst got 2 goals in Argentina. It dunked on the Argentinian team. A guy called Wout Weghorst. Anyway, Gakpo now. Gakpo cross, and it's cleared. Why doesn't the Netherlands just cross the ball over there? I mean, they should. I mean, to be fair, the Japanese marking, they've dealt with some of the crosses. They're marking the space quite well. So, because when you're marking someone, it's not just about pinning on someone, which is what some lay seem to do. It's also marking the space as well, which I think the Japanese are doing, having an okay job at. 0-0 still. 10. Ooh, good tackle. Tamaguchi, good tackle. After a mistake there. I don't like this playing from the back that the Japanese seem to be doing a bit. They're taking too much time on the ball, losing it. Good tackle by Tamaguchi. Too much passing from the back stuff. That's the only thing I'm looking at the Japanese, taking too many touches, too much time. Need to move it about quicker. Too slow. Ooh, close. Spilled it, Suzuki, but recovered. It looked like it was that Marlon again. I think it was Marlon. Yeah, down. Goalkeeper spilled it, but yeah, spilled it, but was cleared. This passing from the back, man. Why? Why are they do? Did Japan always pass from the back? When did they start doing this? They just keep on. It's starting to frustrate me now. Maybe they've always done this, but they keep just trying to play from the back, and it's not working. Like they just cede the possession and give it back to the Dutch. I don't really. The more I'm watching, I'm like, I don't really get what the strategy is. You have possession, you pass on the back, you kick it, you lose it, you give the ball back to the Netherlands, and then they attack. I don't know. Maybe they have tried to go long. But Free kick to the Dutch. Oh, and spilled it from Gakpo. And over. Need to get down target, Cody. Oh, got a Japanese player down here. Was he tying his shoelaces? He's up. Okay. Still about 10 minutes left. With obviously water break, additional time, but again, Japanese. Japan have not been great so far. Japan is a team that almost finds themselves being technical, but what happens when a team matches that technical ability but is bigger, stronger, and faster? That's why Japan's. I mean, are the Dutch a technical team though? Are the Dutch? I mean, I'm not saying they're not technical, but it's not like they're playing against Spain. I just feel like the Dutch have not given, if my logic has always been that, like, if your team that plays out from the back, and it's kind of like how when I remember when in Pep, when Liverpool used to dunk on City when they match up, when they're trying to play from the back, and if you're just being pressed because you need time to, and you're just being pressed and pressed and pressed, then there's no point. You can't just keep on. So what I'm seeing in Japan is that they've done this so many times. They're being pressed, and they lose possession, and then repeat, and then you put the pressure on and they keep on doing it. At some point, you need to change. Whether that's you go long, whether that's like you go out wide, something. Just keep on doing it and doing it again, playing it to your centre back, and then the centre back play it through to the midfield, or maybe tries to ping it out. It's predictable. I can already see I'm looking. I'm like, okay, how are the Japanese going to? Yeah, no. Like I said, I'm not saying that the Dutch aren't technical. Um, I'm just saying that they're more technical players in this tournament. It's just that I feel like the Japanese are trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. But maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, battery's dying. Give me a second, guys. Okay, battery on. Oh yeah. This is why for all the possession they've had. If I go to the stats, I think here, how many shots have they had? They've had 2 shots on target. They've had 5 shots in total. Japan only had one on target. They only had 2 shots on target. I think one of them was from a set piece, if I recall. So the Dutch will, they've got enough, I think, to get to quarters, but Um, so for example, I could, if they played it, if they were to come up against the Morocco, I think they would struggle. Oh, it's prior to a couple of days ago, Endo was captain for Japan. He retired mid camp. That's a good point. That's a good point, actually. I didn't recognize that he was their captain because something. My dad is a Liverpool fan. He did say that. He did say like because I think he got injured. Oh, Japan on the break here now. Um, and I wonder what happened. Nakamura, whether and that's across to nowhere. Um, whether that made a difference. Because obviously the engine in midfield, but also just the fact that it's a bit weird that he announces his retirement when Japan is in a tournament. Why not afterwards? Because it's like he's not retiring from football, so he can clearly play. So it's a bit weird. So I don't know whether the coach was like, "You're injured, you need to go." It's just weird because he's obviously injured, but why did he announce his retirement? I don't know how old Endo is. Maybe it's because of that. It's like, okay, this is my last World Cup. I can't go. So it's still weird. Like why not stay with your team or something unless the coach said you got to bounce. Japan go they do. And like I said, the Dutch don't really have anyone in the box. That's why I suspect that. Um, yeah, it's just a bit weird though. It's just a bit weird. I would announce my retirement like at the beginning of around the tournament, maybe towards the end, or I still want to stay. Oh, Nakamura. Uh, that's the closest they've had, though. Closest sight of goal. Not on target, though, for Japan. It's a good touch. But yeah, I hear it. Because I don't know how old is he? How old is Enzo? Endo. Let's see. Oh, he's 33. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I still think it's weird that he's 33, so yeah, okay. Unlucky. Oh, okay. I've read the article now. Okay. So what happened was that he was injured when in that game against in for Liverpool away back when came back against Iceland and the coach is the one that said, "Nah, bro, I don't think you're fit enough to play." And that's when that's why. But this is one of those things where I'm like, "Yeah, bro, your coach, you got to do it." Um, like I maybe it's how Japanese society is. I don't know, but he's your captain, it's not about players sometimes going. It's like obviously Neymar with Brazil because of their ability. It's also um, their aura. It's also, if he was your captain all the way up until this point, um, I don't know. Unless of course he didn't play that much in the Japanese campaign, and it's tricky. It's tricky. I don't know. It's a still a coach's decision, but if I'm honest, I would have taken him. There are players then that are younger. They're not going to play. Like, come on. Anyway, Sweden got the best. They do, but the rest of the team is wank. Because let's be real, Sweden are Sweden are at the World Cup because of playoff tax, not because I think they finished close to bottom of their group. That they're here because of playoff tax, not because they're a functioning team. Keep an eye on Nygren for Sweden. He's underrated. Fair enough. Yeah, but again, who knows? I don't know. Netherlands versus Sweden will be an interesting game. We're almost at the half-time stage. Again, very cagey affair. Van der Ven. Okay. Van Hecken, it's a Dutch corner. Probably, no, there's about. The fact there's only 3 minutes means that there's not been that many. At least there's not been many time wasting situations. Oh my! I think my just looking at my camera, it's buffering a little bit. Trying not to buffer at all. Oh, good serve. Well, reasonable save. Half time. Very, very cagey. I think the first Japan nil. I think is this the first? I think this might be the first game that has ended 0-0 in the first half. I don't think we've had any previous 0-0s like this. Mexico were ahead, USA were ahead, Switzerland were ahead, Germany obviously were ahead. Yeah, I think this is probably the first 0-0 at the end of this half. So, but yeah, obviously Japan struggling to deal with the technical ability of the Dutch, but the Dutch's attack is ass. It's not good. It's really not. So what if I'm the Dutch? If I'm Ronald Koeman, I bring on Wout Weghorst and Inshallah. Wout Weghorst and Inshallah, bring him on. Cross, boom, end of. But yeah, let's see what happens. Anyway, we'll be back for the second half. We'll be right back. Mhm. Sorry, back, guys. Bit delayed, but second half now. I'll be honest, this has not been the most entertaining of games. It's been very. Let me, in fact, I'm gonna. The Netherlands are playing like Liverpool. This is like watching. I don't know if anyone's watching this. This is like watching Slots Liverpool. I don't think that's a coincidence. It's literally just like watching Slots Liverpool. But okay, you know. Japan definitely needs to do something different. This endo thing really might have affected them. I didn't think it would. Oh wow, Ruben Amorim is now close to being named as Milan manager. That means that we former Manchester United boss. Yeah, maybe that three at the back will work at Milan, man. Apparently, we played them in a preseason friendly. That's going to be awkward. But at least we don't have to pay the guy anymore. Shout out to Amorim, man. You go and save us. Who's a better coach, Slot or Koeman? I don't know. I mean, Slot has a Premier League title. What does Koeman have? Did Koeman win a La Liga with Barca when he was there? If he did, then it's probably a tie. Um, Koeman, however, is the current manager of the Dutch team, and Slot is currently unemployed. Um, but as it stands right now, I can't really see a difference in terms of the. I mean, okay, yeah, no, I mean, they are playing quite a high line, etc. There, so let's say Koeman for now. It'll be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to the Premier League next season because it's. I just don't know. I don't think you can predict. It's the first time in a while where there being so many different new managers, new changes that you can't predict it. Like no one is going to say that Arsenal are going to go back to back. City have a new manager, Liverpool have a new manager, Chelsea have a new manager, Spurs arguably have a new manager. Cross in, and a header, and it's a goal, and that does the job for the Netherlands. And it is Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk again, who for blood, and it's the least that the Japanese deserve. Van Dijk. Man, Japan have been. I'm surprised, man. Japan have been poor. They cleared it initially. It's a brilliant cross. Well onside. He's being played onside. No, 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 no. Yeah. Suzuki goalkeeper. It's literally on the outside of the post. He can't get it. Advantage the Dutch. Advantage the Dutch. and they deserve it. To be fair, Japan have not really offered anything, to be honest. Disappointingly so. Yeah, because all I've seen is them. Unless they're gonna change something soon, with the way they play, I don't see them scoring either. Uh, I think he won a couple direct. Yeah, right. I'm a Barca fan, so I know. Okay, so Slot is better. Slot won a Premier League. Um, yeah, come on, playing him on side. That was yeah, playing him on side. Tackling Japan, I agree. They did. They did. Yeah, they did. They did. Why are you sitting back against one of the tallest? I don't really know what Japan's strategy it was here. Um, Try and outpass the Dutch, which didn't work because they can't. They basically ceded possession. I, I I don't know. Yes, they have the technical ability, but they've not had the possession, so that doesn't matter. They don't have an outlet that they can hoop the ball up to. Um, they're not using the wing. I think this would just be damage limitation, really. And I did say it was going to be something like a cross or something like that was going to come in. So come on, Blue Samurais. I mean, I'll be honest. South Korea played better. South Korea for me when they played against Bosnia, and a team that had a lot of height. They were a threat to set pieces, but Korea were like, right, okay, run, pass, move. Way more technical than Japan have been. And again, see, sloppy passes again by the Japanese. Japan was a dark horse last sport. Nowadays, no. I mean, they did okay in Asia qualifying. I actually had Japan as my dark horse of the tournament. Um, but like I said, maybe this Endo thing really affected the team because you can't underestimate when you take someone who's basically been the captain of the squad. Maybe he's friends, maybe different things like that, and the loyalties and stuff like that you have, it affects things. We saw that with France, and we've seen it with other teams. You take the captain out of the squad, so close to the World Cup, it affects things. These guys look like they're playing like they're leaderless. They're playing like they're leaderless. By the way, I still can't get over Cucurella side. Well, I can get over it. It's not my team, but the manner which Real Madrid just came in and just signed Cucurella is wild. Chelsea fans are going ballistic. Oh, Twitter really is just full of bots now, man. Getting followed by random people I don't know. Okay, but it's still only 1-0 though. But the Japanese don't really have an attacking threat right now. Oh, yeah, still plenty of time for Japan to get an equalizer. It's only 1-0. Oh, equalizer out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Wow. And Japan have equalized. What? What a finish. What? Onside. Lot of space. Touch. Is someone offside though? Does it hit? What's it comes off the defender. Okay, yeah, it will stand. It's Van Hecker deflection. Brilliant strike, and Japan are level, and maybe this game is going to start getting good. Nakamura Nakamura plays in League Two. Let's go, man! Japan, crazy. Nakamura plays in League Two, man. That's wild. He plays in League Two. This is what, guys, I told you about. This is I told you this is like watching Liverpool slot, man. Have the ability to score goals, but yeah. I mean, the fact that he got that amount of space to be able to take that shot off, it's bad defending, man. Shout out to the Japanese. I just okay. Now I'm interested because, to be honest, I'll be honest, guys. I was starting to zoom out of this game because nothing was really. I thought nothing was really happening. But now, hopefully, this game will kick off 1-1. 1-1. Both teams starting to go for it now. I did say it's only 1-0, and this is why, for me, the Netherlands are not even going to come close to winning it. It's the same reason why, if Liverpool handsack Slot, they won't come close to win another Premier League. They can definitely score. Bozo's at the back when they're pressured. And Japan might think they can do something here. They're on the break now, and it's a good ball out. Oh, foul! Yellow card to Somerville. Turned and abracadabra. Hey, RDS, big up, bro. Big up, bro. Big up, bro. I bet Japan to win. Well, I mean, I bet Switzerland to beat Qatar, and I'm not betting again. I bet I bet Switzerland to beat Qatar because I thought that was going to be easy money. Because Switzerland were my favorites in the group. Qatar were the worst teams last. I thought that was going to be easy money. Boy, was I wrong. Absolute bums. Absolute bums. Nah, thanks for joining everyone, by the way. Remember to like if you like, and subscribe if you're new. All crossing. We're going to be live for Ivory Coast versus Ecuador as well, by the way. Ooh. Ooh, no one in. Foul. Maida foul. In Japan, there's a bit more. I think that goal has given them a bit of a kick up the backside. They're now I think now starting to through the legs. Hmm. Man, the Japanese, damn, wheel and moving mad. Bro, if you were Chelsea, yeah, Chelsea in the mud, man. Chelsea in the mud, man. You let your basically one of your captains, one of your best players go. Enzo is probably staying, maybe. Um, for me, they're gonna be, and this is what I told HH on his channel. I was like, HH, you have to accept that the Bram era, Russian oligarch money era for Chelsea is over. You're basically Dortmund now. Young players that you want to resell, that's it. Like, you've like I don't know how any Chelsea fan can think you don't have Champions League football. You finished 10th. Why would any big name? Oh, Somerville, Somerville, and the Dutch are back in front. What was a very good goal, cut inside. These are some good goals, man. And the Dutch are back in front 2-1. I need to look at that again. Was that on the keeper? Could the keeper done it? Cross. Somerville comes in. It's just a good strike, I think. Oh, gives us time to think. Again, off the post. They're good finishes. They're good finishes. It's a good finish. Both Netherlands goals are just unstable, and I actually rate Suzuki, the Japanese goalkeeper. But when it's bottom corner off the post, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing. They're brilliant finishes. 2-1. 2-1. If we don't get Alvarez, we're going after João Pedro. If you guys take João Pedro from Chelsea, man, it's a good finish. Yeah, it is back. But I mean, at least they've a kick up the backside now. There's a lot more in this game now. I was getting a little bit bored, but now okay, there's a game here. Japan will obviously try and do something, but they've been good goals, to be honest. All three were good goals, and that's what you needed. Get João Pedro, man. But no, I'm a professional Chelsea hater, and ooh, and it's again and exposed. Gakpo. Ooh, and good block. It's a flag. It was offside. No surprises there. The flag finally goes up. Let me see. Oh, come on. He's like a yard offside. Why didn't they flag it there and then? Dyson. Ito. But yeah, yeah, we'll see what happens. Mm. Oh, unlucky. Cubone. Ooh, was it a save? Oh no, no, over the over. But yes, next season is going to be very interesting. Oh, water break. Give me time to speak anyway. Next season is going to be interesting. Carrick, obviously, he's been there, but but all eyes are going to be on Maresca, Alonso, and Areola. I mean, Areola is technically not new, but he did manage Bournemouth. Bournemouth to Liverpool is a step up. Alonso is new to the league. Maresca isn't new to the league, but again, step up. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, thingy at Spurs, they can't be as bad as they were last year. They have tons of injuries. Netherlands should just keep the ball. Japan isn't pressing, and they're not. So yeah, they had that flurry. Japan, to be fair, they were going forward, committing bodies. Well, let's see. Again, only one goal in it, and there's still 20 plus minutes to go. 25 minutes. And Ruben Amram to AC Milan. Yeah, you can play that back three in Syria, and you can cook there. And you probably can cook there, to be fair. The Premier League is just way too physical. It's just not the right environment. Hmm. But anyway, enough about the Premier League. We'll get to that list next season. So, but let's just enjoy the World Cup. Hmm. Marlon is coming off. I like the referees are literally just like, no, 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 like just come off. They're like, they really, one thing I like about this tournament is they're really, really clamping down on time wasting. They're not having any of this time wasting stuff. They're just adding on their time for the war breaks. And to be fair, you know, there shouldn't really be a reason for time wasting. You're getting a water break essentially every 20 minutes. Oh, I need to change the score. It's 2-1 to the Dutch. Okay. Yeah, you got to go off, buddy. In fairness, I give credit to the Americans. I mean, okay, the stadiums could be bigger, but I mean, obviously, people made their bank, but they've at least tried to make an atmosphere of it. So I'm not on board with a lot of the Europeans. Well, by Europeans, people in the UK complaining about the times. It's like, well, you knew. Get time off work or something. Come on, you knew it was going to happen. I think it's because England haven't played yet. We'll still have to wait. Like England are playing on Thursday, and is that ball going out? And no, Gakpo's got it. Well done, Gakpo. Gakpo. Good save by Suzuki because that's near post and in. It's actually on target for once. So Gakpo. He's onside this time. He's held his run. A bit lazy by the Japanese right back. Oh, it's 4 p.m. in the States now. Ah, okay. Header. It's right now. It's 10:30 in the UK. 10:30 at night. Mhm. Okay. It's 5:53 for. Yeah, of course. Oh, that's a penalty. How did he neutralize the threat? He didn't win the ball. Wait a minute. Let me look at that. Let me see. How is the? I never understand what when defenders allowed to do is where they can just basically. I know people say shoulder barge, but if you shoulder barge is different from a body barge. If you're using your body and you knock the other player down and you don't play the ball, for me that's a penalty. I never understand why it's not that in any other part of the field. If you use your body to chuck someone the ball and you do not win the ball or make the ball, it's a free kick. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents about that. I just get surprised that's the case, but okay. Corner to Japan, right? Corner comes in. Yeah, they're not going to beat the guy. Ooh, and over. Japan's shock accuracy has also not been that great either. Let's look at some of the stats quickly with about 10 minutes to go. Um, Shots 10 to Japan 6, 7 on target versus 1, which was obviously the goal. 69% to 31% possession. Okay. 90% pass accuracy to 86. Yeah, so I've noticed the Japanese passing has been a little bit off. Um, but but to be fair, both goals, obviously the Van Dijk was a header, but it was a well placed header. Now it looks like Japan at least trying to do route one and trying to commit men forward, which is fine. For me, they should have done this from the first half. Oh, let's play out from the back. Now they're not doing that. It's just like route one, flood people, try and win the second ball, and then progress from there. which is better than this progressive crap that they were doing at the beginning. Low key, if Sweden can get a goal, maybe a set piece and sit back, Japan is in trouble. Yeah, true. But I mean, remember, this is a I don't know who else is in this group, but if I remember, Sweden aren't the whipping boys in this group, or Japan. There's a weaker team. Tunisia, I think it is. Yeah, Japan should beat Tunisia. They'll beat Tunisia. It's difficult because of course now you've got this whole third place, best third place stuff. So 48 teams and then 32. So only well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. 16 teams are going home. And obviously there's how many groups, isn't there? You know, so if you think about it, there's 12 groups. So the bottom teams in all those groups are going home, obviously. And there's only going to be 4 third place teams that are going. So basically, if you finish third, there's a 75% chance you're going to go through. Because only 4 of those teams are going out, which is ridiculous, to be honest. Fair enough if it was half, but like literally 75% of furthest are going to go through. So, so to be honest, I think if as long as you win a game, you're going to be fine. So long as Japan win, they're through to the round of 32. Then you'll see what happens. There'll be a team that people probably don't want to play against, though. I'm not going to say it's not that this is why the group stage doesn't matter, because it does, but there is an element of you know, what's really the point of going from 48 to 32 teams? Because at least 32, you go to 16, that's half, and then half, and then half and half. You've gone from 48 to not even half. And you know, most of the bottom teams. Oh, oh, Goalwards. You should have kept that on the ground, man. It's a good chance from Japan there. Should have kept on the ground. But you know, Japan are pressing now there. I mean, I'm surprised they've left it this late to start. Maybe it's because they couldn't match the physicality of the Dutch technical field, but you know, they're starting to move it quicker now, starting to. Japan tactically got this. Yeah, they did. They did. I think that they could have actually potentially got something from this game, but tactically they, you know, I actually don't think that they should have even it should have been a back three. I think they should have gone at the Dutch from the beginning. But he set up as a back three, and you know, RDS, have you been to the States before? Yes, I have. I was in the States when I was 18. Well, I went a few times once when I was 18, once when I was 16. It looks like yeah, Gravenberch is coming off. I like how the referees again come and bring them off. And I think it's been replaced by Ake. Yeah, Ake is on. But yeah, I've 18 and I went to I think New York and Philly. It was a long time ago actually. At some point I'd like to go back, but maybe the environment right now is a little bit tricky. To be honest, the place I want to visit next is actually Japan, ironically enough, because they're playing. Really want to go there. So it's a bit difficult when you've got a kid. You can't be free traveling as much anymore. This game should have looked like exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I think he's changed it. I think he's gone to a back four now. But why? Why have it start a back three against the Dutch? Just seeding. Just I think the coach just gave them too much respect. And like I said, I mean, I get it. It's you don't want to lose badly in your match, but Japan throwing. You know, where was this intensity in the first half? It's literally it was the yellow card, foul by Memphis. Holland have not been outstanding. Of course they've done the job. No one is here saying Netherlands are going to win the World Cup. I don't even rank them above England, to be honest. So Netherlands just but it's fair. They want to prove that maybe it's Koeman as a defender. Remember, he wants to see out the game, and Japan are putting more pressure on the Dutch right now. Way more pressure. Foul. We'll have a break and then we'll be back for midnight for Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. I'm going to be looking forward to see my man Ahmad do his thing, man. Wait, is Senegal in this group? Is it Netherlands, Japan? Who's in this group? Senegal's issue is I don't think the attacking threat is that good, to be honest. But it'll be a different battle, be a more physical. Ryan Bobby for Cody Gakpo is that's just crazy. That's crazy. 1 second. Sorry. Oh, Gakano. Oh no, Japan. Hito back in. Van Dyke. Dutch having to defend. Still a good probably 10 minutes left of this game left. Japan can maybe get something. In general. Oh, they're not in the same group. Yeah, because it's Sweden and Tunisia in this group, isn't it? It'll be an interesting game, I would say. I don't think I could convincingly say yes. I think if Senegal actually started like how Japan are playing, actually going at the Dutch, I think they cause them problems. It just depends on how much respect they give them. Japan gave the Netherlands too much respect this game, and that's probably why they're behind. Gamora. Are you going to watch the Sweden Tunisia game? Maybe, I don't know. Tunisia are not that great to watch, to be honest, and Sweden. But I'll see. I've got to look at that comes up. All I know for now is I'm watching Ivory Coast versus Ecuador because Africa needs to get a win and South America needs to get a win. Even though Morocco played really well against Brazil, it's still a draw. So South America and Africa have still not got a win yet. Europe have got their first win in Germany. Oh, Ito, good block. Let's see. That's a corner. Let's see. Corner to Japan. Ito. Wow. Kokiagawa for the equalizer levels it for Japan. 2-2. And you saw it, the pressure was coming. And this is why. You could see it. Bring on the defenders. Bring on the defenders. See the game out. I mean, you know. Agari, is it deflected? Off Kamado, I think. Should the goalkeeper do better than that? It's off Kamada. Nah, the goalkeeper needs to do better there. Two. And of course, the Dutch. This is why, guys, the Netherlands are never going to win this tournament. Maximum quarters. This, I told you guys, you know, it's like, they're Liverpool. They're slots Liverpool, guys. They're slots Liverpool. Shout. And all that from Van der Ven being a bum, to be honest, given that corner. So let's change the thing. 2-2, man. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if the Japanese had played like this from the beginning, I think they would have won the game. Like he gave them, and fair play to the manager, he changed it. 2 up top, let's go. Meanwhile, Koeman was like, yeah, let's just put defenders on. Let's just put defenders on now. So now you've got attack against defense now. Because there's barely any Dutch players that are like that are up. And Japan have got all these attackers now that like that want to basically score. So The Dutch are literally. He's thinking they're literally the Dutch are playing a back five. They're playing a back five now. So, oh, good ball. Let's go 2-2. Koeman, he's. I told you. I mean, Slot is better than Koeman, but as soon as they were like, let's just throw on all these defenders, I was like, yeah, that was so, mid 2010s. We're not in that era anymore where you can just see out a game with about 15 minutes to go. The Dutch have got the ball. Maybe some individual brilliance and the Dutch might save them again. You can never count out the Japanese. That's true. That's true. It's a good point for them here. It's just I feel like tactically they got it wrong at the beginning. It's good they corrected it, but they got it wrong. Hmm. The Gravenberch sub was, yeah, I don't get that either. Gravenberch for Ake, who has not been great this season. But remember, Ronald Koeman is a defender. Okay, he's not an attacker, he's not a midfielder, he was a defender. So he's going to be thinking like that. Okay. But at the end, I think 2-2 apiece is fair because Japan didn't really they didn't really start playing like this until what the last like 20 minutes. But yeah, the Gravenberch substitution was stupid. Koeman, like I said, he's mid. I'm not saying he's trash, but he's a mid manager. He's not gonna. Like I said, I don't think anyone coming to the tournament ever thought the Dutch were going to win the World Cup. But they're not. A stronger team like a France and England, even a German, maybe even a Germany would have punished these guys defensively. Um, and their attack just isn't, you know, any team that has a better attack than the Dutch is gonna win, irrespective of the midfield they have. Germany, England, Spain, France, maybe even Argentina, probably even Argentina. Okay, Japan have got to see out this pressure now. I wonder who will win Brazil versus Netherlands they meet. That's a good question, actually. Again, depends on how they set up. If Ancelotti sets up like he did against Morocco, then the Netherlands. Because you can't play Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes in a midfield together in 2026. So you can't do that. Even the Dutch midfield would overrun them. So, and then Paqueta and just okay, yeah, 2-2 eventually. Honors even, huh? Japan coming from behind twice. Good strikes from Van Dijk and Somerville. But this is what happens when you are a defensive coach, a defensive mindset, and you take off Gravenberg and replace him with Ake. Hmm. Yeah, fair play to them. Good start. To be fair, to be fair to both sides, um, all goals were good. Both headers were good. Um, both strikes were good. So all goals scored were good. Can't really say that. I mean, maybe the keeper could do better on the Japanese second goal, but yeah, man. Like I said, disappointing game until probably the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes was when Japan actually decided to attack. You can't take Gravenberch off at Ake, man. But anyway, full time, guys. It is the Netherlands to Japan to in what was ultimately, I think, compared to say Morocco. Maybe it's because at least the Morocco Brazil game, the first half was really good, and the second half it died down a little bit. This game, I feel like, only really got good in the last 20 so minutes. Um, Obviously, goals from Van Dijk. I mean, you see the goals 51, 64, etc. So the last 25 minutes, it's when it started. After Van Dijk scored, the Japanese started to sort of actually start to play. And then Nakamura obviously scores a fantastic strike to equalize 6 minutes later. Then, only literally 7 minutes later, Somerville makes a fantastic strike. And you think that the Netherlands can see it out. They make quite a few defensive subs. And then, unfortunately, they get paid. And Daichi Kamada scores the goal. I think it was deflected off him in. And it's 2-2 apiece. And the Japanese, even with 36 possession, 3 shots on target, 2 goals. The Dutch 7 shots, 2 goals. So there you go. There you go. But shout out to the blue samurai man. Right. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate Abracadabra, SSB, PMP, all you guys watching. It makes a big difference. Encourages me to do more watch-alongs. But yeah, we're gonna be live in an hour's time for Ivory Coast, Ecuador. So remember, if you're into the channel, like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, or on Twitter at Red Devil Studio X. We're also on Twitch as well. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace.